If you don't know who you are, then how are you ever going to uncover or give yourself permission to be the highest version of yourself if you don't know who you are in this present moment today? Hello and welcome to another episode of Embody Your Energy. I am delighted to bring this episode to you, and this one is an area of my particular speciality that I love working with people on, and it's the pillar in my EPIC framework, and it's the I, and we're going deep. We're focusing on identity today, which I love talking about. It's something that I'm really passionate about because it's something that caught me out when I first started setting up the business. There was something that really came to light about this whole identity piece where I was like, wow, I've never, ever looked at it through this lens. And then me being me in the way that I work, and a lot of people that listen to this podcast work in this way, like, oh, I've got to find out more. I've got to understand and educate myself more on that actual identity piece. And the story that goes behind this identity piece is that I was in a mastermind, which was fabulous, and I was on one call. I'd only been in the mastermind for 3 weeks. I was on one call with a mentor, and I had this overwhelming feeling of, I don't belong here. I don't belong on this call. I don't look like anyone on this call. I don't behave like anyone on this call. I am completely different to the people on this call. I want to get off my chair and I want to shut down Zoom and I want to just go and hide. And that's how I first came into the experience around identity. And I was brave enough in that moment to voice my opinion. And I said to the mentor, this is how I'm feeling. I feel like I don't belong here. I feel like you've all got your stuff together. I'm just at the starting blocks and you're all way ahead. And so it's a whole heap of imposter, a whole heap of not good enough, a whole heap of comparisonitis. But ultimately, it was all identity work. And that's what the mentor said to me at the time. Well, it's just your identity work and that forever shifts. So we've got to get over it. It was a bit like that. And I was like, okay, I really need to and have to and want to understand this piece more, which is why now, 5 years later, it's a massive pillar in my business. It's what I start with every single client I work with, because if you don't know who you are, then how are you ever going to uncover or give yourself permission to be the highest version of yourself if you don't know who you are in this present moment today? And this is really, really interesting. It is how you identify as a person, how you identify with your peers, how you identify with your mind and your body, and everything in between. So it's a big, big topic. I'm just going to talk top level to give you a flavour, because there will be more episodes on this as I go deeper into some of the elements for people and talk about how you can really focus on this work by coming into some of the options that I have in terms of working with me. But let's go with the who am I question. Now that is a big, big question, isn't it? It's, well, who am I? Well, you tell me is the answer that I get a lot. Well, who do you see? Well, it's no, who do you see? Who do you see when you look in the mirror? Who do you really see? Do you see somebody who is absolutely living a life of pure fulfillment, real harmony, life feels good, they totally love themselves, they love who they see in the mirror, they feel good in their skin, they feel alive, they feel that they can absolutely achieve anything, and that's the kind of vibe that they are in? Is that what happens? Or do you look and go, oh my goodness, it's another day. Oh my goodness, look at the state of me. Oh my goodness, I feel really heavy today. And this is a totally bespoke journey for you and your mind and your energy and the mirror. I call it the mirror moment. It is so powerful. Who do you actually see in the mirror? And when I had my first aha moment back in 2019, and then my second, multiple moments in 2022, and life changed a lot. This mirror piece is a big piece. I have people, and this may be you, who don't even like to look in the mirror. They don't want to go there. They don't like who they see. They quickly look in and quickly look out, and that's literally to brush their teeth. They don't really want to spend time looking on, doing their hair, their makeup, or anything like that. And I have people who find it super uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And I also have people who are like, hey, yeah, high five. And they're doing all of that in the mirror, the Mel Robbins trick, and feeling really empowered and on fire in that space. And it's very powerful. Looking yourself in your own eyes and speaking to yourself with your own voice and hearing yourself in your own tones is by far one of the most powerful things you can do. So why don't people do it? Why don't people own this piece? People in many spaces and places take their advice, their guidance from other people. And the beautiful thing in this world is that life is always a mirror. The people that you speak with, they're always a mirror shining something on you for you to look at, for you to accept, for you to treasure, for you to receive. But nothing beats you against you. It's the embodiment piece. It's the staying in your own lane piece. It's the aliveness piece. It's the empowerment piece. And it's really everything that I stand for. So understanding who I am, these are the kind of responses that I get when I ask this question to my audience. And these are people who are very successful and very talented. And there seems to be multiple identities. I'm very good at this. I'm not very good at this. I'm really laser focused at this. I'm really lazy with this. And there's not necessarily a real truth of everything that they're saying. Some of the pieces are absolutely a knowing. Absolutely a knowing. I can tell how they say it. They know that it's like a given. They feel it in their core. Some of them are purely stories. Like one I heard from a client, well, I'm lazy. Well, who says you're lazy? Your behavior, your patterns, your belief systems, your body. Let's get to the core of who actually, where is that coming from, and how much do you value being seen as and embodying somebody who is active? How does that land? How does that feel? And are you prepared to go there? Or does the lazy label allow you to feel safe, comfortable, and hide? Are you somebody that feels like you have too much on your plate? Yeah, I am that multitasker. Yeah, I've got loads of things on. Is that something that you like to identify with? Would you like to change it? Are you ready to change it? Are you open to changing it? Who are you going to be when you change it? And this is really powerful when you start thinking about the phrases, the emotions, the language, the actions, the personal practices that you use that really allows you to shape your own identity. It is powerful. I love working this out with people because they start to go, oh my goodness, I was like this, I was this, I was this. They were all stories that I can change it in a moment. I'm changing it today. I can change all of those things and I can do anything I desire. Anything I desire. If I'm the person that burns the candle at both ends, I can decide, actually, do you know what? I'm in my flow in the evening, so I'm going to give myself a different start to the day. Or do you know what? I feel really great at 6 a.m, so that's when I'm going to really put all my focused effort in. And knowing your flow, your way of being, the way that you hold yourself, carry yourself, and everything like that really shapes your identity. Understanding everything that makes you uniquely you is at the heart of this. And one thing I just want to call out in this episode is about this whole future self piece, because I am fascinated by it. Absolutely fascinated by it. Because when people talk about your future self will thank you, the mind receives, well, that version is in the future. That version isn't yet here. And so when I get to that version, because that version is in the future, then I'll be thankful. when actually this version is here now. We're actually embodying this version here now, so that when this version here now moves forward in time or moves forward in age, in human experience, then this version here now has grown and developed and is able to bring in whatever it is that they truly desire. And I'm really passionate about that, because what happens with the mind and what happens with the body, when you hear the word future, you're like, well, that's out there. It's out there. It is not within me. And I really want you to think about that when you think about your identity, who you are, who you're being, and everything in between. Then understand that your identity is everything. So ask yourself this question, who am I? And ultimately ask yourself this question, who am I when I'm having fun? Who am I when I'm not working? Who am I when I'm the CEO and I'm leading? Who am I when I am working out, when I'm feeling physically fit? Who am I when I'm resting? Who am I when I'm in a crowd of people? Who am I when I'm alone? All of those questions will allow you to generate your beliefs, your patterns, your identity. And from there, you get so much clearer and so many magical things happen. I cannot wait for you to report back on what you've learned, what takeaways you've got from this episode, where you are. And if you want to know more about this whole identity piece, then please do message me on Instagram. I am Charlotte Carter, or on email, charlotte@idaretoleap.com, and I will get back to you. I personally read all of the messages, and I'm excited when people take the action to go, do you know what? This is what came up, because then I can help you more. I can help you really understand what's going on. So understanding your identity is absolutely key. And I remember my whole journey when I first started the podcast out, and I talked about the dry robe story. If you want to hear that, go right back to episode 1. And I'm at a different level now. It's very interesting. My identity is very, very different. The dry robe identity has served its purpose. The dry robe identity is a part where I will bring out for people when we're working on one particular part of their identity, which is around self-worth. For me, that's totally embodied now. I am worthy of anything I desire. So the dry robe has completed its journey. And so there's a shedding, there's a renewing, there's space for the next piece of identity. So understanding yourself that this is what will happen. You will get to a place, it will feel good. You'll be like, yeah, I've made it. And they'll be like, oh no, there's always a next level identity that's coming. And you know what? They always feel so, so great when they've landed. And you've received them and you've surrendered to them and you've accepted them on multiple levels. I have I've been really excited. I'm really energized at bringing this episode to you. I am really keen to see what lands, understand what's coming up for you, so I can bring more epic episodes to your ears that really help you understand yourself, your personal growth, your energy, how you embody it, how you're being, how you're carrying yourself, and ultimately what you're here to do. So huge love to you all. Take care. Have a fabulous day and live life. Live life in flow. Live life in a way that feels really good and really own who you are.